Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Executioner by me. So let's get into it. Tengen. Tengen would try to be very calm, but inside of him, he's panicking. He was never going to panic in front of you though. You're already going through enough, and he does not want to add to that. But when you do tell him that you're in labor, he can't help but feel like there is a clock ticking behind him, and his heart is beating so fast and he can't breathe properly. And then he takes a deep breath, puts a smile on his face, and tells you everything will be alright. And then he carries you into his arms and takes you to a doctor. And he just stays out there, praying everything goes well. You tell him you don't want him to be inside, mostly because you're worried about him. But after an hour or so, he finds out that waiting outside is not so pleasant. It makes his heart beat faster with anxiousness, the fear of the unknown. And so when he's given the chance to go back in, he immediately takes it. And he watches you, as anxious as he is. He holds your hand, whispers encouragements. You'll be okay, Wyan. You're strong. I know you'll be okay, he says over and over. And soon enough there is a bundle of joy in your arms. And then he looks at you, his eyes wide with tears. He never thought anything in his life could shake him so much. Witnessing demons and fighting with them, he'd witnessed a lot of bloodshed, of death, but he has never witnessed the birth of another life. And perhaps that is why it's so impactful. He knows how it can be to see someone die, but now with you, he knows how it feels like to see the gift of living, of the birth of a new life. And it's something he will never forget. He would make sure you rest throughout the next day, and this day, and the entire month if you wanted. He'd be too worried to let you do anything or even move around. So just make sure you don't worry him, and take the rest while you could, because Tengen is not really going to accept anything else. Rengoku. Rengoku would actually be very calm, which is surprising because you do expect him to panic. But instead, he's completely level-headed, and he helps you. Deep breaths, Wyan. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. I'm not sure about that. It really hurts, Rengoku. You're just 2 breaths away from screaming your head off. He manages to get you to a doctor in time, all while trying to keep you calm and alright. And thankfully you make it without anything bad happening. But what's worse than all of this is the fact that, well, you seem to be wanting to bite his hand. He knows you're stressed, going through a lot of pain, a lot of things that you will never understand no matter what he does. But it feels like you're trying to break it off, or just make it bleed here. And he's doing his best to remain calm. My lord, Wyan, would you just calm down for a little bit? I am calm. It's the calmest I've ever been. You scream at him. Certainly not calm. But when all is done and the baby's here, he is more than happy. And if he cries, don't mention it. When he holds the baby close to his heart, whispering to it and talking to it, telling your baby that he is the happiest father in the whole wide world. You've never seen Rengoku so happy, but you knew, right from the moment that you married him, that creating a family with Rengoku was the best choice you could have ever made. Because to him, family is important. He cares about you. And from the looks of it, he is certainly enamored with your baby. And you're quite sure to see a great father come out of him. soon enough when the situation calls for him. For now, though, he will have to be a great husband and get you home and make you something to eat. You're quite hungry after all. Sanemi. He may strike most as an angry, cold-blooded, unnecessarily violent person, but that was not him. He was not like that. You've never seen him be like that, at least not around you. So that was something, at least, that only you would see. You saw the softness of him, the lovely parts of him that he only showed you. The way he could be so gentle and so quiet. The way he could handle his own emotions so differently when you were the one that were talking to him. But the thing is, this was a whole different kind of situation that he has never experienced before. You were in labor, and he felt like he was actually going to cry from the amount he was panicking. He was panicking so much that even you could see he was not calm, and most of the time he was able to control his own emotions to the point where you could at least hide them and panic internally, or whatever it is he chooses to do. But right now, the situation was not looking up. You'll be alright, Mayan. You'll be alright. I'm not doing anything, he whispers, and if you were in any other day, in the middle of laughing, perhaps you would have laughed, but you were in excruciating pain, so certainly it was not the time. And instead, you slapped his shoulder, telling him to get you there faster. And the entire duration of you giving birth, he was just so torn, whether or not to enter the room with you. He settled on entering the room, but looking at his face, he almost looked like if he was going to pass out. It's not the blood, but it's rather the fact that it was a dangerous process, and it could end badly. So the entire time he was just praying everything goes alright, and as soon as he heard the cries of your baby, he collapsed on the floor in relief. And the next thing he knew, he was crying softly as he kissed you, and kissed the top of your head, and then your baby's cheek. I'm so proud of you, Ayan. I'm so happy with you. You don't know what you've given me. Oh, I do know. I think I know a lot. But for now, could you please go home? And he takes you home. Oh, he was going to do everything you say at this point. That's how happy he was. And that is certainly how much he cared about you.